Everyone, please silence your cell phones. And we start with the unity statement of being, followed by the 5 unity principles. It's in the beginning of the hymn. Unity statement of being, followed together. There is one presence of one God, indivisible, in our lives, and in the universe, God, good, omnipotent. The 5 unity principles, number 1. God is absolute good, everywhere present. Number 2. God is with us, therefore we are inherently good. Number 3. We are co-creators with God, and we are experiences of us. Number 4. There is a creative being that has self-connection with God mind. And number 5. It is not enough to simply know these principles, we must live the truth we know. And we will sing hymn number 2, the hymn of the Lord's Prayer. Please stand.
Time of meditation, where we get comfortable and we go within. We go apart a while. We make space for a higher resonance, a higher energy, a higher frequency that lives within. This higher resonance, we can focus our awareness, our conscious awareness thoughts on this beautiful divine resonance, this higher frequency, begin to transform our very consciousness. So I invite you to go within, to the depths of inner space, to the depths of an entire world, an entire universe that is within you. That beckons, calls for you in the light of your awareness. It is awaiting your discovery. It is waiting to reveal itself. Waiting to bring forth through you a treasure that only you can bring forth. For you are treasure. Expression of this higher frequency, this higher resonance that is radiating within you. So it beckons to, calls to you. The greatest gift that we can ever experience is the gift of knowing with an innermost certainty who we are. Know thyself. And know all that there is to know. Know thyself. And know the pure beauty that you are. Know thyself. And experience a intimate oneness with all that there is. For all that there is spirit. This is our greatest purpose. It transcends all other purposes. Our highest calling that exceeds all other callings. For we are one with this divine radiance. We are one with this universe. Called to experience the very depths of our being, that oneness, that union, that connection that we have with all things, that we share with our brothers and sisters in this world. So be still, brothers and sisters. Experience that innermost peace. That harmonizes, that renews, that regenerates. Experience new versions, higher versions of ourselves being brought into visibility. That is the nature of things. That is the nature of a divine being. That which you are. That which you are is love. And love's purpose is to heal. Is to renew. Is to raise up. So that activity is taking place in every moment of now. We live in a friendly universe, a benevolent universe, a loving universe. So we are being invited to experience to greater degrees that benevolence, that love. So while we are enjoying these beautiful moments of peace, experiencing our oneness, experiencing the presence of spirit that is in this sacred space, here through the union of mind. For where two or more gather together, there is spirit, there is love, invite my brothers and sisters to join me here in attention. For it is my intention to bring forth a new message. A new message that is in alignment with our infinite nature and our oneness with the universe. To move my personality out of the way, to experience to a greater degree the divine truth of spirit that lives in each and every moment. So I invite my brothers and sisters here to join me in that attention. And in this demonstration of a manifestation of bringing forth something new that raises consciousness, brings forth new ideas, new insights, new understandings, new awakenings. Join me in this intention. For our minds are already joined. And with this benevolent presence, with spirits, there is nothing we cannot do. So we need not know the how. We need not know the way. We only need hold and attention of the end result of the raising of consciousness, the raising of understanding, and allow spirit to take us there. So hold that intention with me. Join me in gratitude. Joyful, loving gratitude that all intentions are already answered. It is already done. It is already done. Let us feel this intention for this new message and new energy, the raising of consciousness, increased realizations in the name and of the loving nature of spirit, the abundant source and fountain of all of our blessings. done. And so it is. Amen. So we have a selection from the choir. So would everyone please stand and turn your hymnals to page number 301, please. We'll be singing Lord of the Dance. Page number 301, Lord of the Dance. How we doing this morning? Good. All right. Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Name of my talk is Quantum Tango. Quantum Tango. So, you know, I like to come up with creative titles. You know, I like to keep you on your toes. Have some fun in here, you know? So, because that's what we experience. When I was thinking of the title, I was thinking of what I wanted to teach. And so, oftentimes, we begin to experience a dance. I'm going to start this dance, or start this, as far as describing how this dance, by going back to subatomic particles. Now, I've given a number of talks on quantum physics now, and using a particle that we're all familiar with, which is the electron. Okay, we all remember the protons, the neutrons, and the electrons. So we're just using electrons right now. Just been using the electrons, as far as for different aspects and attributes and characteristics that these electrons possess that we share. So the characteristic that I'm going to talk about today is quantum entanglement. Entanglement. See, when these electrons are in their orbit, they sometimes become entangled. This can happen through, as far as through their passing close by in orbit, and this can also happen when quantum physicists entangle them or deliberately have them get entangled. And so once this happens, then at this point you can separate these particles by vast distances. You can have one be on one side of the universe, and you can have another particle that is entangled with that first particle on the other side of the universe. There's an instantaneous transference of information that's faster than any type of speed of light or anything like that. It's just instant. If one rotates, the other one will rotate the opposite direction automatically. So this actually creates an opportunity for all sorts of applications that now our scientists are beginning to devise. Teleportation and all sorts of different things, as far as this instant transference of information. So, everybody with me so far? Okay. So, we share this with them, though, you see. And so, I'm going to discuss 3 basic tenets. Before I share anything else in this talk, 3 basic tenets that we have to understand. Number 1, that all minds are joined. All minds are joined. Automatically. They're always joined. I know it may seem like we are separate, as far as the separate minds, but it only seems that way. Now, and so there's a constant process. Another tenet to understand is that we're all going through a certain type of therapy. We are all going through various forms of therapy. This is important. These are important things to understand. We are going through therapy. Every single one of us is going through therapy. Every person in the world is going through various forms of therapy. And some of us are doing well in those therapies, and some of us in the therapy, and as far as our progress, as far as learning what we need to learn and healing, and some of us are struggling. And that's just a natural way of things. That's just natural. Some of us are going to excel, and some of us are going to struggle. And it's okay. It's okay because, something, we all go home in the end. We all are healed in the end. We all are healed, regardless of the journey, regardless of how long it actually takes for the journey, regardless of whether it takes, a week, or whether it takes, 50 years. We all go home. We all are healed in the end. Everybody with me? Okay. Another tenet to understand, these are 3 tenets that we're going to use, and this is going to be a premise of this talk, is that nothing, no one, and nothing is against you. No one and nothing is against you. I know it may not seem that way. I know it seems like, we have adversaries. I know it seems like we have enemies and things like that. But I say all these things, to bring the focus where it belongs. As far as wherever the idea of these adversaries and enemies comes from, it comes from within. You see, we have our own ideas about ourselves that we don't want to accept. You see, we have our own ideas about ourselves that we're not happy about. We have our own ideas about ourselves that we think are not good enough. You see? So everything that we experience in the world is just an outpicturing of that, of whatever it is that we're holding inside. Everything that we experience in the external world is just an outpicturing. You cannot perceive anything in the external world. You can only perceive your world, your version of the external world. So what I mean by that is it's not what happened, it's what you think happened. It's not what someone said, it's what you think someone said. It's not what took place, it's what you think took place. So I have to say all these different things before I actually get into, what's going on. So back to all minds being joined. So, and back to we're all part of it, experiencing a therapy. So, in this process, we resonate on certain signature, we have a certain resonance based on the nature of our thoughts. Okay? Now, all minds are joined. Again, all minds are joined. And so, there are going to be opportunities that we're going to experience for that healing, for that therapy. There's going to be opportunities. And so these opportunities are going to show up with our brothers and sisters. They're going to show up in the situations that we face. They're going to show up in various forms. These are all opportunities to continue and further our therapy. That's what they are. Opportunities. Now, sometimes we take advantage of there are times that we take advantage of the therapy, we see it for what it is, and there's times that we don't. But the bottom line is gradually it begins to dawn on us, that's what's going on. Gradually there's a dawning, whether you're going inside and whether you're actually actively, like some of our people who are going to excel at this therapy, the people who are going inside, people who are working on themselves, or whether you're just someone who doesn't meditate, whether there's still gradually over time going to be a dawning on the mind. I get it now. After dealing with the same types of situations over and over and over and over and over, there's a gradual dawning. Maybe I'm looking at things the wrong way. And see, that's the opportunity that we're all trying to get, because see, at that point, then the world begins to get a little bit more clear. And we begin to see things from a new lens, a new perspective that we didn't see it before. So, in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, it reads, all things work for good for those who love spirit, for those who are called to Spirit's purpose. Now, that scripture was not saying that only the people who love spirit do the things work good for, the things as far as things working for good. What that scripture is really meaning to highlight is that those who actually love spirit, who are actually focusing that energy, their thoughts on that higher frequency, that higher energy, which is spirit, they can actually see the benevolent nature of the universe. They can actually see that this entire process is a therapy for their highest good. They can actually see that, you see. They can see it. But when you're not focusing on spirit, so you're not focusing on that higher resonance where you're raising your consciousness, where you can actually see things from a new vantage point, where your consciousness is kind of raised and things look a little bit more clear at that point. Once you get past, like say, maybe the fog or whatever you want to call it, and you can actually see a little bit more clear and see that, maybe it's not like I thought. Maybe these aren't enemies. Maybe these are really my friends to actually bring this stuff to the surface so I can actually look at it and so I can get this dawning moment where I understand that this is something that I've been holding within me the whole time. You see? This is how this process works. So, what creates many opportunities? Well, what creates many of these opportunities for healing is when we are invested in particular outcomes. We're invested in certain things. We're invested. It has to go this way. You see? It has to be this way. Not that way. It has to be this way. It has to be this way. Why does it have to be? Because it has to be this way. Okay. That creates many opportunities, you see? Many opportunities for our healing. Because, see, that whole have to be this way. See, that's just an out picturing again of your consciousness, you see? Because, see, you're doing the same thing to yourself inside. You're just not aware of it. You're doing the same thing to yourself. I have to be this way. And you're not allowing yourself to be as you are, you see? So it's bad. So you're actually doing that with the situations that you're in. You're actually doing that same thing with your brothers and sisters. With anything that actually happens, because this is how you're being with yourself. It's the same thing. Same thing. You see, the way we see is based on all the ideas that we're holding inside. And yes, I've shared, many of these ideas are picked up at earlier versions of ourselves, like a lot of when we were kids. And we didn't have the mental wherewithal to actually see things from a perspective, a mature perspective. So we saw things from the standpoint of us being responsible for it, for whatever happened. Doesn't matter what it was. Whatever it was that happened, we think that we were responsible for it at that younger age. So that created this whole other idea that then began to change everything that we experience, and it changes everything that we're experiencing today. Everything. So thank goodness that we live in this benevolent universe where we have many opportunities for our own healing. Many opportunities when we are invested in these things, when we're not accepting ourselves. When we're not accepting ourselves, because let me tell you something, if we were accepting ourselves completely and wholly as we are, we wouldn't have those external investments. We wouldn't have those external investments as far as what has to be. We wouldn't have those things. You see? We'll be a lot more relaxed, be a lot less stress. I'm not saying that you're not going to have any stress, because stress actually has opportunities too. But the stress is not going to be associated with you not accepting yourself, though. And beating up on yourself. And thinking that you don't measure up. All that does is change how it just affects how you experience the world. That's all it does. It affects how you experience the world. And so we don't recognize our brothers and sisters as friends at that point. Because they're not showing up. They're not showing up in those particular ways as far as, because we've been such a dictator with ourselves. They're not showing up that way. They're showing up as they are. Or they're showing up with whatever they're dealing with. But if it's not aligned with what we expect it to be, then we have a problem with that. This creates those opportunities. This creates those opportunities. And you know something? Lydia asked me, you want me to do the timer and thing for you, because I forgot to put my timer on, So she asked me, I said, no, Lydia, I got it. I can do it. And I should have said, yeah, go ahead and give me the timer. I should have said that, Keep on asking me, okay? You keep right on asking me. Okay, so let me start now. I have no idea how long I've been talking. So, all right, here we go. So, where was I? Okay. So, this is how these opportunities are created. And so, it's not one personality that has this whole idea of what has to be. It's many personalities. So what happens is you have this convergence of two personalities with specific, it needs to be this way, and that creates a beautiful opportunity for some healing moments to take place. A beautiful opportunity for some healing moments at that point, because you have these two personalities who both have their own ideas of what has to be. Okay? And usually they don't align, they don't coincide, and so they enter into a dance. They become entangled in this conflict. You see? Now this conflict is still a friend, like I said, but it's there to effectuate our healing, to bring forth our healing. But, this entanglement is not just in the area of opportunities to heal. This entanglement is also, because again, all minds are joined. This entanglement is also the reason of as far as what brought me here to you and what brought you to me. This entanglement is also called, the law of attraction and stuff like that, whatever, but that's what brought me here. The same force is what brought me here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. going to be here as long as Spirit tells me to be here. But this is what brought me here. So that we can bring forth and go through these perfect opportunities to bring forth a therapy together, to raise consciousness. So, how do we disentangle ourselves? How do we speed up the healing process? How about that? How do we do that? How do we begin to heal those conflicting moments, to begin to experience our brothers and sisters and the situations and circumstances that we experience as that we're perceiving as turmoil, to recognize them as the friends that they are, as the allies that they are merely here to help us. That's it. Even though it may not seem that way, that are really here to help us. How do we do that? Okay. Well, I'm not going to get into all the whole meditation and gratitude, but those are basic things. It's like working out, it's like going to the gym. Meditation, gratitude, trusting in spirit. That's like going to the gym. And the things that you do every day are going to impact this, you see. The things that you do every day are going to impact this. It's going to impact this. It's going to give you greater glimpses, first of all. The meditation is going to give you greater glimpses, of the ideas that are impacting and making you need to have certain things be a certain way, so that way you have more opportunities to do something about it. Okay? Gratitude is just going to raise, it's just going to expand you. It's just an expansive energy. It's going to raise your consciousness. So that's always going to be a good, because that's basically putting you at a higher vantage point. So, and I like to use the example of someone that's at the street level, that's like, on the, like right there, like say you're in the middle of a busy intersection in Manhattan, New York, okay? And there's all kinds of things happening, there's all kinds of things going on and stuff like that. And it may seem a certain way at that level, but the person who's like window washing at 70 floors up, who's outside, they have a whole different perspective. And that's what gratitude does. It gives you a whole different perspective. It lets you see what's going on a little bit further down the road, where you're not getting impacted by all the little small things, you see. Things are much more peaceful up here. You can hear, birds flying by, and, it's much more peaceful. Well, gratitude does that, you see. Gratitude is what raises up so you're not getting impacted by all those little bitty things, you see. Trusting in spirit. Understanding that your source is really spirit. It's not that job, it's not that person, it's not any channel. It's not that any channel. As much as you may love that channel, it's a channel. Because something, spirit, the all that there is the source of the abundance. Doesn't mean that if we're talking about a person that they're not spirit also. But at the same time, we're talking about all that there is. And so when you know that your abundance, for example, your job, you're not worried about losing the job, for example. I mean, you don't want to lose your job, of course, but you're not worried about it because you know that that your abundance is not coming from that job. Your abundance is coming from spirit, which is expressing through that job, expressing through that job as far as that channel. This redirects things and makes you less fearful. The less fearful you are, the more you're able to see things clearly. The less reactive you are, the less you're in survival mode at that point, you see? So, and those are the basic things. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you, not in this talk anyway, but whatever you do every day, it's going to impact and create this greater version of you in the future. Whatever you do every day, it's the things that you do every day that make the biggest difference. But as far as specifics on what I'm talking about, as far as recognizing these opportunities, that it's really an opportunity, that it's really not this fearful shadow that you actually think it is, well, the first thing is go back to that tenet that I told you, is that no one and nothing is against you. No one and nothing is against you. No one. Even if they think they're against you, no one is against you. And so how do we turn that energy around? And I'm going to give you some examples. The first thing I would do is to bless the person. No, I don't need to tell them I bless you, because that's kind of passive aggressive. You know, but just to bless them. Bless them. Just bless them in your mind. Bless them in your mind. Bless them. Bless that person in your mind. Bless them. So a willingness to bless that person. Okay? And then bless the situation. A willingness to bless the situation. Bless it. A willingness to bless that situation that has brought you to this point where you are now contemplating this conflict and you are now blessing this person, and now your thoughts are focused on what is going on here. Why am I experiencing this conflict? Bless that situation, because that situation is meant to bring about your highest good. And the next is bless the part of your mind that is perceiving the conflict. Bless the part of your mind that is perceiving the conflict. Bless the part of your mind that is perceiving the conflict. These three things, like right there, if you do these three things, magic begins to happen. Transformation begins to happen. You know, every time I'm about to give a talk, now I'm going to share something. Every time I'm about to give a talk, Spirit, because, you know, the talks are put together because there's a lot of meditation involved, there's a lot of me talking to Spirit involved and things like that. And Spirit, you know, to really give me an intimate understanding, takes me directly through the curriculum that I'm about to give a talk on. Directly through the curriculum. So I've shared recently that I'm preparing to, you know, for my ordination. I'm a licensed unity minister. I'm a unity minister, but I'm not an ordained unity minister, so I'm preparing for my ordination. So there's a class that I have to take with Unity Worldwide Ministries, right? And so I had to get some kind of special account set up for this class, you know, a special account. And so I had to reach out to this person that is with Unity Worldwide Ministries that's on the West Coast to get this special account set up. And for whatever reason, this person wasn't responding to my emails, at all. At all. So now I had to get into this class because Tuesday is my very first class, every Tuesday. So Tuesday, in 2 days, is my first. And so I'm like sending messages like, the first message I sent was before Easter, no response. Sent another message on Monday, no response. So, you know, I can get, you know, at that point, sometimes we might start getting anxious, you know? Then next thing you know, our mind starts thinking things and stuff like that, starts thinking like in terms of shadows and stuff like that. Somebody's trying to, you know, stop me from getting ordained, whatever, you know? So at this point, this is exactly what I did, okay? Let me start blessing them. Never seen this person ever, never seen them. Let me bless this person. Let me bless them. I don't know what the situation is. I have no idea what the situation is, you see? It could be just for whatever reason, it's not getting my emails. Have no idea. Okay? Bless the person, bless the person, bless the person. Then I began to bless the situation. This is the opposite situation for my highest good. Let me bless this situation, let me bless it. Then I began to bless the part of my mind that was perceiving the conflict, that was perceiving this, it was getting fearful about this, and bless that too. You know? And talking to Spirit, I already know that this is a part of the curriculum because, you know, I'm just giving a talk and I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. So after all that happened and then I relinquished and let go, I was like, hey, it is what it is. You know, I've done my due diligence, you know. I got an email from this person. Got an email. And they told me all the instructions and everything as far as what to do. Everything. Everything. Just like that. But that wasn't the only thing. I told you, I go through several things. You know, Spirit wants to make sure that I know what I'm talking about, you see? So, I take eye drops. You know, the glaucoma runs in my family, right? So, you know, I want to make sure that I, you know, take care of my eyes and stuff like that. So I take eye drops. So I just ran out of prescriptions. So I reached out to I leave from, this was like going on 7 o'clock, so I leave, I made plans to go stop at CVS to go pick up, you know, my prescription. So I get to CVS, and the lady, you know, she tells me that had to pay $56. I was, what? No, hold on, no. Yo, here's my coupon thing, and it was like $35. And so she looked at it, and then all of a sudden she told me that CVS doesn't have to honor that. Okay, I see what you're doing, Spirit. I see what's going on. Okay. All right. So I didn't make a big deal, and they were just about to close. So I said, okay. So I went home, started doing the same thing with her. Started blessing, didn't even know who she was. Started blessing her, started blessing the situation, started blessing the part of my mind that was, and then I decided, let me switch over to another CVS pharmacy, which is just a little bit further. This one was like half a mile away. This other one was like a mile and a half. Okay, big deal. So I switched over to this other CVS pharmacy and went there 2 years later, and I went there with my coupon thing ready and stuff like that. And so when I asked her what it was, and she said, "Oh, this is $35." Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, that's what I'm talking about. I said, "It's just $20." No, yeah. So I tried it with something else, as a matter of fact. And this wasn't even a conflict. This was like, I think it was like on Friday or maybe Thursday, I don't know. But I was taking a nap. And you know how you get those situations where you start getting like you have like a twitch in one of your muscles or something, like one of your muscles just starts twitching, it doesn't want to stop twitching for whatever reason. It says, stop twitching, But it just wants to keep, and then it wants to keep twitching more. So I did the same thing. I started blessing. It was happening in my hand. I started blessing my hand. Sure did. Started blessing you. And do you know that twitch went away just like that? So I'm sharing these things with you. Spirit wants to make sure that I had an intimate understanding so that I knew what I was talking about. So this is how you actually heal these situations, how you can actually recognize, that these are opportunities, and that's all it is. Is that this will change your energy. This will change your energy from one of being angry and experiencing anxiety to one of being joyful because there's something that's on your side trying to raise your conscience, trying to help you to heal yourself, you see. This is what I'm talking about. The Quantum Tango. We all go through this. All the time. I'm sure you can think of it at times based on the things that I'm sharing of where you've experienced these moments. These moments. And perhaps you thought that these opportunities were enemies. Perhaps if you thought these opportunities were unfriendly and malevolent, but they were really your friends. You see? These were your friends. And so when we do these things, we actually can see them. It actually kind of clears up the lens so we can actually see it clearly for the first time. I get it. And we experience some of these dawning moments that I'm talking about. Some of these dawning moments where we can actually recognize, like a realization, like an aha moment. I get it now. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody with me? Okay. All right. Okay. So, you already know what time it is. I've got an affirmation. Okay. Everybody repeat after me. I bless my world, my experiences, and my brothers and sisters.
I bless my world, my experiences, and my brothers and sisters.
For I know we are all doing our part in elevating humanity.
For I know we are all doing our part in elevating humanity.
One more time. I bless my world, my experiences, and my brothers and sisters.
I bless my world, my experiences, and my brothers and sisters.
For I know we are all doing our part in elevating humanity.
For I know we are all doing our part in elevating humanity.
Amen. Brothers and sisters, you go and be that light that your Father, Lord God, intended for you to be. Thank you.
Wow. That's powerful, wasn't it? It's now time and we can power on discussing together. Divine love flowing through me, bless us and multiply us, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, bless us and multiply us, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, bless us and multiply us, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is so. Amen. We have a few announcements. The electronic voting is available at the front desk in the lobby. Please see Ricky about that. Copies of today's service are also available on CD at the front desk. There are prayer chaplains available for one-on-one confidential prayer, and they will come to the front of the sanctuary after the service. You can find us and follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Next Sunday, April 14th, Reverend Fleming will be delivering a Sunday message. And at the end of April, we have a guest speaker, Reverend Anna Quintana, who will also be doing a Saturday workshop on peace as a daily practice, and there will be more information in the newsletter. And for the month of May, we have some special announcements.
All right, so I'll be really brief. So, the month of May is going to be a lot of different things for us. First of all, it's Jewish Heritage Month. It's also Asian American and Pacific Islander month as well. But for Unity of New Orleans, the month of May is also going to be Healing and Wholeness Month. So we're lining up a lot of various modalities of healing for Healing and Wholeness Month. The first, I believe, Saturday, as far as all the Sunday messages, they're going to be about healing and wholeness. And remember, all healing initially starts in the mind, but at the same time, as far as you get the mind, and this is what Unity teaches, as the mind and the thoughts are or reconciled in the mind, then there's a natural healing of our bodies. But there's going to be modalities, various modalities of healing. So we're going to have like a heart math. It's going to be 2 Saturdays. There's also someone doing the Sound of Love workshop. And then there's also going to be a person who he was going to be here several months ago doing miracle healings. but it got canceled because we had we had like an Arctic blast or something like that, and so we had to push it back. So you're going to be at the end of the month of May. So that's going to be Healing and Wholeness Month. So I would invite you to participate in a number of these. You'll participate in all of them if you want to. There's so many different ways to heal. So this is just about exposing this to it. So that's it. Just want to let you all know about that.
Okay, I hope everyone is signed up for our newsletter, and if not, please see a member of the welcome team, and they'll give you a card to fill out. And do we have any visitors today? If we do and you're willing, please stand and give us your name and where you're from. No? Oh, yes, we do. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Heather. I am the wife of Mr. Allen here, and I'm visiting from across the lake. Covington.
And how did you find out about our Unity Church here?
Oh, my husband has been attending services online as well as the book study. Meditation, and Course in Miracles. That's correct.
Thank you, and one of our welcome team will also give you a card and some information before you leave.